because for me, as an organization that works a lot with technology, technology is often not the problem. Technology is often, we might be using the wrong technology for the objective that we have set ourselves. So let me take, for instance, websites. Who of you have got websites? Who of you can say with confidence that all the people that you would like to read the content on your website can access your website?
Who of you can say that none of the people who would like to read your content can access your website?
Okay. So what I would like us to start with is thinking and planning, because that for me is the most important part about using cell phones in your work. You can't use cell phones to send a lot of information, or can you? This is a question that we can answer later. You can actually send large amounts of information to somebody on their cell phone. You can send them even a book, a whole book, and I'll tell you how to do that later. What about that it's very expensive to access the internet on a cell phone? Is that true or false?
It's true.
It's false. It's not very expensive to access the internet on your cell phone, especially if you know how to do it well. Okay. And for those of you that have got websites, do you know how well your website works if someone's looking at it on a cell phone? Have you ever tried accessing your own website on your own cell phone? Okay, so that's a good experiment that we can do later as well. What I'd like us to do is to really engage with the technology as well. So if you have your cell phone with you, we are going to use it later. Okay, so we'll use some experiments as well. But like I said, let's start with identifying some of the issues. I focused this presentation on looking at advocacy, okay? Because a lot of what our work is about is around advocacy, but I'm going to change it a bit. For the first question, about looking at what the problem is that you would like to address, I'd like to ask you, in one sentence, and for this exercise I'd like you to take out your cell phones. Anybody has them handy? Okay, if you've been a good person and you've turned your cell phone off, you can turn them on again, or if it's on silent, you can keep it on silent. What I'd like you to do is to think about a program that you currently have running. Okay. Maybe you're working with HIV positive people or abused women and children. Think about something quite specific in your work. And I would like you to articulate what the advocacy problem is that you would like to address. Right? What is the advocacy problem that you would like to address? So perhaps the broad problem that you have is people don't know enough about taking their medication. They don't know how important it is, and they forget to take their medication. Okay. So in this instance, what would you need to advocate for? What's the change that you would like to advocate for? Right? So it's basically articulating the problem, what the problem is. So in this case, the problem is people who are prescribed, what is the medication?
The ARVs.
ARVs. People who are prescribed their ARVs don't take them on time and don't know how important they are. There's my problem. Clearly articulated. You could make it even more specific than that. You could say, people living in my area who are, and we'll identify the people later, they don't know how to take their ARV medications that are prescribed at such and such clinic. Okay, so you could get even more specific. But the trick here is that we're going to have to articulate this in no more than 160 characters on our cell phone. All SMSs are 160 characters. So what I'd like you to do, and think narrow as well. Think if you're struggling with an advocacy message, pick a program or a specific part of your work, okay, that you have a problem with, that you have an advocacy problem with. And I'd like you to type that problem in the form of an SMS using 160 characters. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to think about it, and then you're going to use your thumbs. Do you have a cell phone? Yes. Okay. So it really helped you with your problem.
So we must go to the messages.
You must go to messages. You must click on new message, or however your little operating system is on your phone. And you're not going to put a number in unless you really want to send. You could send it to me if you like. Who wants to spend 71 cents sending me a message? But you don't have to. So articulate, but I don't. Those of you who have cell phones that just carry on typing a message, you can tell. You know, you can usually tell how many characters you are using up. Don't go beyond 160 characters. What some cell phones do is that they just start to send message 1, message 2, message 3, right? And then I might receive it in my phone as one long message, but it would take a little bit of time.